Hey guys, I'm Biernacki. This is Rory Van Vliet. These are the two best side control escapes for beginner. We're going to go over those in greater detail for you right now. First thing we need to cover from a conceptual basis, because we do run bjjconcepts.net, is that when it comes to side control, there's side control where I've got good alignment, and there's side control where I don't have good alignment. If my partner has broken my posture and I don't have good base and good structure, side control is incredibly dominant. However, if I've got good structure, if my limbs are in good position to block my partner from solidifying his control of my torso, if he can't get an underhook and a crossface controlling my head and controlling my shoulder, then this is not a very difficult position to escape. If I don't do that, I'm gonna have huge problems. So how we're gonna avoid that from happening is to recognize when we're playing guard, because opponents don't magically appear in side control. Well, at least they never have to me. If they do to you, you've got more problems than a YouTube video is gonna solve for you. But the idea is I'll be playing a guard somehow, and let's say I'm doing this and I'm trying to like push my partner away, and he gets in and like, ah, crap. Now he's got all kinds of control of my posture and my structure. However, if as I'm being passed, I recognize, oh man, well, my lower body frames got beat. In other words, my legs, which were the majority of my defense and offense from the guard, are out of the equation. But I still have my arms, which if I use good structure, which is to say I optimally position my limbs to achieve my goal. What's my goal? To not have his chest against my chest. If he's able to do that, he's able to effectively pin me, controlling my rotation. So if I can keep my arms here at an appropriate angle, and we've talked about the angle of posts and force vectors, if I've got a good post absorbing the force that Rory's generating, I can prevent him from solidifying the position. You can see how mobile I can be underneath of that as long as I'm able to keep his chest off of my chest. So if we allow our partner past this, we're gonna have way bigger problems. So the biggest thing I can tell you, if we had to pick one thing as far as, hey, beginner, how do you not get put into a side control that's gonna fuck you up and ruin your day, is keep your frames in place and keep your knee and elbow connection, which is just good structure. It's optimally positioning my limbs to achieve my goal. My goal is to not have my partner occupying this space, effectively pinning me or crushing me. So if I keep good structure here and relatively good structure here, even if I can't get my knee in, let's say Rory's hip is closer, as long as let's rotate around. As long as I keep my knee driving while maintaining this frame, if he goes to pop up to the knee on belly position, my knee will displace him. But if all I'm doing is framing with my arms and I'm not checking with my knee, then he can migrate into the mount, which is also gonna ruin my day. So as your partner passes your guard, establish good frames on his chest and his bicep, denying him the ability to grab your head. Drive your knee in. If the space is available, you've already re-guarded. All you need to do now is make a chest escape, a hip escape, and plant your feet. So that's, as far as like the best possible escape, that's the scenario that we want. However, if your frame starts to collapse, which will happen, let's rotate a little bit. First thing I need to do now is re-establish a frame. So if I had good frames here, but they started to collapse, I'm going to bring my hands to my head, creating a triangle shape with my forearm, my biceps, and my spine. And so now my partner is unable to gain control of my head. What this allows me to do, let's rotate this way, is punch an underhook. Normally you'll see people underhook like this, which in my opinion is not a very good idea, because fundamentally jiu-jitsu is a game of frames and levers. I want to utilize levers against my partner, and I want to utilize frames to protect myself. If I stick this arm through here, I'm giving my partner access to a lever. As he puts weight at the end of my forearm, my arm is no longer effective. The point of an underhook is to be able to open the space up between my partner's hip and his armpit. I'm going to do that more effectively by poking my elbow into his armpit, creating a wedge. When I do this, I'm also going to be continuing that knee pressure that we were talking about earlier, driving my knee up, checking his hip, denying him the transition to the mount or the knee ride. When I bridge now, bridging off my left foot, I'll open my elbow up, creating space, and I'm going to reach down with my left arm, grabbing my partner's leg, accessing it as a lever. Let's rotate towards the camera a little bit more. Accessing it as a lever and pulling it into my half guard. Because I still have good structure and I've got my arm on top of my head, he still can't grab me or choke me or anything like this. I'm going to drive my knee into his butt, shifting his weight, allowing me to build up to my base, putting my elbow behind me at a 45-degree angle. If my elbow is here at a 90-degree angle, I can be crushed because the force my partner is generating is coming at a 45-degree angle. As I bring my elbow to a 45-degree angle, I'm able to absorb that. I can now threaten a takedown, which will cause my partner to sit to guard. So those are the two best methods, the frame and hip escape method and the underhook method, both of which are taught extensively in jiu-jitsu. However, in my experience, they're often taught, I don't want to say incorrectly, but absent a context that allows them to be as effective as they can be at a higher level. As a beginner, there are little details and there's a context that you may be missing that doesn't allow you to be successful. What we're hoping to do with some of these videos is give you access to the kind of conceptual context that makes these techniques work at various levels because of the timing and because of the situation that you've created. The situation that we're talking about specifically is the alignment equation. Alignment is made up of base, posture, and structure. You need to have those things in all positions, and you need to deny your partner those things, at least to some degree. The more you deny them, the more effective you'll be, and the more powerful the techniques you can use. For instance, if I somewhat affect your alignment, maybe I can prevent myself from being submitted. If I massively affect your alignment, I can probably submit you. So the degree of success that you're going to have corresponds completely to the degree to which you're able to affect somebody's alignment. And hopefully we've illustrated that in this video here. Side control, where I've got my face crushed and my partner has an underhook, is totally different than side control, where I've got proper frames, proper structure, and I'm utilizing proper angles, proper posts and force vectors and things like that to affect my opponent's alignment, breaking their structure, breaking their base, and then attempting to escape, rather than spamming a move that without the proper context is simply going to be ineffective. You're going to doubt how effective jiu-jitsu can be, you're going to quit, and your life's going to be really miserable. So don't do that.